Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
A very good morning, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle. It is Monday, just after 6 o'clock, and it is Martin Luther King Day. Hillary Florin is off today. Crystal Cly is off today. Standing in today is Dan Martinez. And Dan, Hanks High School is taking over the morning show today, right?
Apparently so, and I mean, with all good reason, right?
Yeah, we welcome to Hanks.
There you go. Let's talk about your forecast, though. We have some pretty cool stuff to talk about. We have clear skies today and a nice day overall to talk about, folks. We do have some clouds that have been moving through, so you might see some cloud coverage as you walk out the door today once the sun comes up, of course, but it'll move out of here pretty quickly. That's what clouds and radar are showing. As far as El Paso right now, 34 degrees, east-southeast winds at 3 miles per hour. For Las Cruces, 38 degrees, calm winds, 62% humidity right now, so things looking good. And here's a look at the regional temperatures. You notice 41 right now for Ruidoso, 38 Las Cruces, and same for TRC. And our day planner today, you notice that jump from 8 o'clock to noon. In just about 4 hours, we're going to climb 20 degrees. And our high temperature today in El Paso, 68 degrees with those mostly sunny skies. So some good conditions to talk about for the most part today, and especially for those enjoying an extended weekend, right?
Exactly, Dan. Thank you. Speaking of the long weekend, due to Martin Luther King Jr. Day, nearly all of the schools in the area will be closed. All Las Cruces schools, also the El Paso, Isleta, Socorro, Fabens, Anthony, Clint ISDs are closed. Canutillo ISD is the only district in the area with classes in session. UTEP and MSU also have the day off. For a full list of all the district's schedules, we have a link on our website, KVIA.com. You can also find that link on our Facebook page. You can expect to see a lot of protests on both sides of the abortion debate throughout the nation this week. This week marks 42 years rather, since the Roe versus Wade decision. The Supreme Court ruling legalized abortion nationwide and went on to become a cornerstone issue in what's been dubbed the culture wars. In El Paso, thousands of pro-life Catholics gathered and marched yesterday in the Lower Valley. ABC7 did not see any counter-protesters during this weekend's event. The city of Las Cruces wants to improve its services by getting feedback from those who know the city's best, the people who live there. The city is mailing out surveys to all residents, all randomly selected. The survey, created by the National Research Center, includes 17 different categories. Residents rate the quality of life, safety, education, and a long list of services such as traffic enforcement. These will give officials a better idea of what needs to improve. The city also mailed surveys in 2012 and 2013. City officials say it'll be interesting to compare those results. A man is in the hospital this morning with serious injuries after being stabbed. Police say it happened just after 1 o'clock yesterday morning near the 3000 block of Dyer in northeast El Paso. No arrests have been made at this time. Police are still looking for the suspect. Last summer, you may recall the story of a man found dead on the railroad tracks in the Lower Valley. It was near the intersection of Presa and Roseway. Well, his family is looking for answers, and they need your help. The victim was 34-year-old Lorenzo Francisco Galvan Jr. The family says police still haven't uncovered what exactly happened and now consider Galvan's death a cold case.
Just if anybody has any information, if they could call us, call KVIA, call the police department, and just give us some information. All we need is closure.
Galvan leaves behind 5 children. If you have any information, please contact authorities. 2 people ended up in the hospital after a rollover in northeast El Paso. The northbound lanes on US 54 between Dyer and Ellerthorpe were closed Saturday night due to this crash. We're told a truck and a small four-door collided, causing both the vehicles to roll. We have some video from the TxDOT traffic cameras at the time. Police tell us 2 people were taken to the hospital in serious condition. VA police are speaking out about problems nationwide after the shooting at El Paso's VA clinic. We have this information from the Washington Post. VA police say security issues have gotten worse after veterans started finding out about the VA lying about patient wait times. Media reports show a laundry list of shootings and violent incidents across the nation since then. Officials at the VA say they will begin ramping up security across the nation, and that is expected to be completed in 2015. Attorneys for 2 Albuquerque, New Mexico police officers want the district attorney off their murder case. The 2 cops are charged with killing a homeless camper last March. The officers' attorneys believe the DA may have filed murder charges because the police department is investigating her. But the district attorney says she's only taking the case because no other DA wants it. Chris McKee reports.
No way is this district attorney justified in bringing these criminal charges.
What makes this case criminal are some of the facts.
It was clear early this week the DA's choice to file murder charges against APD officers Keith Sandy and Dominique Perez for shooting James Boyd would lead to a heated argument. But now this new court filing shows the case is already hitting another level.
There are plenty of prosecutors throughout this state that can prosecute this case.
Keith Sandy's attorney Sam Bregman wants Brandenburg and her entire office disqualified from working in the preliminary hearing, where a judge will decide if the 2 officers will go on trial and on what charges.
There is an actual conflict of interest for several reasons.
His main argument that Brandenburg has unclear motivations against the department because she's the subject of an APD investigation. APD is accusing the DA of bribing burglary victims to keep them from pressing charges against her son.
Whether or not that is a strong case or not isn't what's important. It's the public perception and the questioning of the integrity of the process.
He also claims editorials and internet comments show there's a real concern.
This community is hurting right now when it comes to the police department and the district attorney's office.
Brandenburg says she hasn't reviewed the motion and won't comment on it until next week. But a few days ago, Brandenburg, who's always worked closely with APD, said she'd rather not be in the position to decide on charges in police shootings, but said DAs in other counties aren't interested in taking over that duty.
They didn't want to expend their time and their efforts when they could be better spent dealing with their own personal issues.
Brandenburg believes still there's no conflict of interest.
It's just real easy when you try to do the right thing for the right reason. It's just real easy.
Chris McKee.
Republican Congressman Steve Pearce talked with ABC 7 about the continuing immigration debate and issues with Congress. Good morning, El Paso's Andrew J. Polk is live with these details new this morning. Andrew.
Yeah, good morning, Stephanie. Congressman Pearce made his first appearance on ABC 7 Extra last night to discuss the moves happening in Washington on immigration and how Congress is even still working this time around.
36, and the nays are 191. The bill is passed.
Congressman Pearce voted for legislation last week to fund the Department of Homeland Security through the end of September, but also block President Obama's executive action on immigration. Under the executive action unveiled by Obama last year, more than 5 million undocumented immigrants would receive temporary legal status, but not citizenship. Pearce says he agrees with Republican leadership that the president overstepped his authority on that action and that Congress can work to pass comprehensive reform.
That Congress is dysfunctional. Actually, Congress works fairly well. In the public, Democrats want us to go this way, Republicans want us to go this way. Congress is a reflection of the public. The public is not easily, they don't have it firmly in their mind. So yes, it has taken a long time. It took 100 years to get rid of slavery. Everybody thought that it should be gotten rid of, but our process works slow. And so we are a reflection of the people. The people do not want an amnesty program.
Now, while President Obama had previously said he couldn't fix immigration through executive action alone, last year he said he had to do something around the gridlock of Congress. He's also vowed to veto any legislation that would reduce or reverse the executive action on immigration. Stephanie?
Okay, Andrew, thank you. Super Bowl 49 is set. The Patriots and the Seahawks. Seattle is trying to get back-to-back championships. If they can, it'll be the first time since 2004 when Bill Belichick, Brady, and the Pats did it. Needless to say, it seems appropriate that that's the team they'll be going against. Brady is going for his 4th Super Bowl title. Now, if he gets it done, he'll join Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw as the only quarterbacks with 4 rings. Let It Go songstress and Broadway star Idina Menzel will sing the national anthem at this year's Super Bowl. The NFL posted a statement on its website saying the pregame show will also feature John Legend performing America the Beautiful. Katy Perry will perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, and she'll be joined by Lenny Kravitz. The game airs live Sunday, February 1st. Well, at 6:10, let's take a look at how things are shaping up outside. Looking over on the west side at I-10 in Buena Vista, I-10 in Executive, you can see that the camera's a little high, but you can see that the cars on the road, they're starting to pick up a few more vehicles on the I-10 this morning, Again, no problems to report at this point. Just be careful if you're heading out on the road this morning. Well, after the Jerry Sandusky scandal, Penn State and Joe Paterno had a lot of wins stripped away from their records. But this morning, Joe Pa, once again the winningest coach in history. We'll explain how that happened. And later, the Aggies and the Miners, how they did it during their weekend matchups. But for StormTracker weather, Dan Martinez is standing by with a preview. Dan.
All right, well, we have a preview. You already kind of saw a little bit of it this weekend. We're warming up for today and tomorrow, but then some changes coming our way by Wednesday. I'll explain coming up.
Thanks, Dan. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.